In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the differences between Vice City in 1984 and Vice City in 1986. So for those of you guys that don't know, Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories takes place 2 years before Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So Vice City Stories is in 84, Vice City is in 86. And we're also going to discuss what this could potentially look like going forward in the future, since the latest and most credible rumor for the next Grand Theft Auto game has us going back to Vice City. Would it be similar? Would it be different? Would it be modernized? So we're going to be talking about all of that in this video today. This information was put together by a user Mork on the GTA forum site. I'll leave a link to their topic in the description. So let's start with the Fairground in 1984 and in Vice City Stories, which I will be showing the 84 version first every time. This is what it looks like. You can obviously see a Ferris wheel, lots of carnival rides and stuff like that. And then suddenly in Vice City, it was turned into a construction site that you have to navigate a little helicopter through. So in the span of 2 years, this thing was completely torn down and a high-rise building was being put up in its place. Pretty interesting. Up next, we've got the Washington Mall, which you guys can see right here in Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. So there doesn't look to be much there in Vice City Stories. Doesn't look like it was built. And then 2 years later, it looks like it was finally completed in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. What about the ammunition store? This one actually looks really similar. The only thing they've done is sort of upgrade their logo a little bit. You can see in Vice City Stories, we've got the ammunition store right there. And here's what it looks like in Vice City. So they went from sort of a blue and red to like a light blue and pink color. That's pretty neat. And this is what it looks like on the inside. You can see it is similar, but slightly different. They've got a new employee. They've got a wider range of weapons to choose from. So lots of little changes going on here from Vice City to Vice City Stories. This is the building right next to ammunition. This one in Vice City Stories has this pink neon sort of going around the edge of it. And in Vice City, there's like an apartment complex in front of it. So it looks like they built that within those 2 years. After that, we've got the Ocean Bay Hotel Underground Car Park, which you guys can see right here. Pretty simple. Again, not a whole lot going on. And then this is what it looks like in Vice City. So very, very similar. Nothing too different. Up next, we're going to be looking at the demolished building. In Vice City Stories, it doesn't exist. Has not been built yet. But in Vice City, it has. Again, you can see this is the one you sort of take the helicopters through in that one mission, Demolition Man. After that, it is the iconic Ocean View Hotel. This is what it looks like in Vice City Stories in 1984. And this is what it looks like in Vice City 1986. I definitely prefer the 1986 Vice City version. After that, you've got the Clementis Suite, which you guys can see here. And then in Vice City, it looks totally different. Like, it looks like they tore it down completely, or at least totally remodeled it. So definitely a little bit of a difference right there. Following that, we've got Diaz's Mansion. This is what it looks like in Vice City Stories from a couple of different angles. And then this is what it obviously looks like in GTA Vice City. So again, very, very similar right there. Only some minor differences. The biggest thing that I've noticed is that like first floor garage or set of doors is opened in Vice City, but it's closed in Vice City Stories. Following that, we get to take a look at the party house. This is the one with like those sort of neon lights hanging from the rafters a little bit. In my opinion, this actually looks way better in Vice City Stories in 1984 because this is what it now looks like in Vice City. They took down their lights, and I don't know why they did that. And then the next location is the place near the Ocean View Hotel. I'm not sure what it's called. You guys can see here it has this pink neon on sort of the building top. Again, same thing here in Vice City. It's actually a place where I think you can like save your game or something like that. So that's pretty cool. Up next, we've got the Pole Position Strip Club. This is what it looks like in Vice City Stories. Again, not a whole lot on the outside, so I actually prefer the version we're going to be looking at in a little bit. This is the 1986 version. You can see the sort of green and pink neon right there. In my opinion, it looks a whole lot better in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So far, which of these do you like better? Do you like Vice City Stories, which would obviously be in 1984, or do you like the version we've seen in Vice City, which is 1986? So far, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's get into some more examples, though. This first one is K. Rossi & Co. and the Washington Mall. This is what it looks like in Vice City Stories. you can see it is kind of empty because it has not been built yet. And then, of course, this is what it is in Vice City. A little bit more in-depth construction right there. But, of course, it has been 2 more years, so that would make sense. After that, we've got a house on Starfish Island, as you guys can see here. This, to me, looks identical. It's almost like they copy and pasted the house from Vice City to Vice City Stories. Either way, pretty cool stuff right there. I'd love to live on that house. That'd be amazing. After that, you've got the Cherry Popper Factory, which in 1984 apparently was not in business because, as you guys can see there isn't anything going on. Then in 1986, you can see the Cherry Popper Factory is a full-blown business, ice cream shop and everything like that. Pretty cool. Same with the Screw This Tool Shop. In 1984, you've got boarded up windows. It didn't seem to be in service. And then in Vice City, it was, where you could buy tools, like hammers and whatnot. So that's kind of neat. After that, you have the Verity Supermarket. This is what it looks like in 1984, Vice City Stories, with the Redwood Junior billboard on top. And then this is what it, of course, looks like in Vice City. It's been changed to a restaurant of sorts. But you can actually go on the inside. This is what the interior of Verity Groceries looks like. And this is what the interior of that restaurant looks like in Vice City. So they definitely changed it up here. They definitely are not the same. After that, we've got Robina's Cafe. This is what it looks like in 1984. You can see here in Vice City Stories. And then here's what it looks like in Vice City, which this place actually turned into quite the spot for the campaign. Lots of missions took place at this Cuban cafe. So again, pretty cool stuff right there. Another comparison. After that, it's Sunshine Autos, which in Vice City Stories was actually being built by Tomb Construction. As you guys can see, there is not a car dealership there. But by the time 1986 rolls around, there is a car dealership. So that is kind of cool. Same with Marty's Trailer Park. In 1984, it was around. But in Vice City, it wasn't around. They cleared the trailer park. So it is no longer a thing. No one's going to be living there. After that, you've got Empire Building number 1. This is what it looks like in Vice City Stories. And then this is what it looks like in Vice City. So pretty similar, just some minor cosmetic differences like a garage door and whatnot. In Vice City Stories, you had a store called Hardcore Pawn. Not hardcore, you know what I'm saying. And in 1986, it seems like that store had ended up shutting down because you can see there is no store right there. At least the storefront is empty. You've got the Redneck Gun Shop next to Burger Off in 1984, which in Vice City apparently just went out of business. It's just an empty storefront. There's nothing going on there. In GTA Vice City Stories, you've got Little Havana Street, which you guys can see right here, looking pretty good. And then in Vice City, it looks very, very similar, as you guys can see right there, with the houses nearly being in identical positions. So that's pretty awesome. You've also got the laundromat in Vice City Stories, so in 84. The same laundromat in Vice City. So some minor differences right there, like billboards being on top and whatnot. So those are some pretty interesting comparisons. And like I said, it sort of begs the question, if Grand Theft Auto 6 or Vice City 2 is going to be the next Grand Theft Auto game, you know, what are the differences going to be like? Are we going to see a similar map size? Are we going to see landmarks being in the same location? Are we going to see, you know, car dealerships being in the same spot? Malls being in the same location as well? Or are we going to see something completely different, like a totally reworked world? I kind of think that's what we'll see, because if it's any indication what Rockstar did from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas to GTA 5, yes, for the most part, like landmarks are in the same spot, but the entire map was changed so much. Obviously, Rockstar was very limited with what they could sort of do back in the day when they were working with the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox original. Now with the modern consoles and PCs, they'd be able to create a much bigger, in-depth world. So I think we would see some things in relatively similar locations, but all in all, things would be expanded much more. There's no way they would keep the same map size as what we saw in Vice City and what we saw in Vice City Stories. I think it would be much, much bigger, probably new islands, new places to go. And that's sort of the rumor anyways. And what we've heard last in the next Grand Theft Auto game is it will be Vice City, but with the option to go to other different locations and countries. So that's all the info I've got for you guys in this video today. I thought this comparison was pretty cool. Let me know which one you thought was the best. Did you think Vice City Stories in 1984 was better, or did you think Vice City in 1986 was better? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.